to live and getting the Israelis out of their territory. And I think this is what Hamas's move is designed to, from a position of considerable weakness, but it's a move that's designed to put pressure on the Israelis and the Americans to deliver at least some of that.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine, so I've seen through my work for charity that, it's never really a priority to think about politics or any other issues when you don't even know when your next meal is coming.
You eat first and
absolutely.
do politics
when
second.
You're in such a dire situation. Anyhow, we're going to go over to our next story, which brings us back to the UK, which is Labour's social media ban could lose public support if ID cards are needed. We've talked about this many times before.
Yes, we have, and I think this does illustrate the concerns that people have, not with the objective of protecting young people from the darker and addictive sides of social media, but from the way in which the government is doing it, and it isn't doing it by confronting big tech and by dealing with the problem at source and by making the platforms responsible for the content they share. It's putting the onus on the consumer, and in this case, forcing, it seems, or likely to have to force the entire population to give over their ID details to big tech companies. And it's not surprising that it's in this opinion poll that when it's revealed that this is the cost of this legislation, support for it absolutely plummets. And it isn't even as if the Australian model, by the way, is actually working. 80% of the relevant age group in Australia still have access to social media after the ban was brought in, and the social media platforms aren't even properly regulating themselves, because in case after case, when kids do give their correct date of birth, they continue to have access. So there's a number of problems with this, really.
The thing is, this has already been happening in Australia. Do you know how long it's been out?
Well, it's probably a year or so now. I think the Australia ban's been in been in place.
I think about that.
Certainly months, yeah.
Yeah, so it would be good to see how they progressed. Obviously, we could learn a lot from that. There's social media, as you said, isn't very. There isn't much policing on there or that kind of protection on there. So it is. It's a big topic. It's a big one we can talk about for a very long time. But anyhow, we're going to go over to our next story of the day, which is 3 in 4 London jobs at risk from AI. This is from the Telegraph.
Yes, well, there's a torrent of stories. I mean, practically any day you can open up social media or legacy media and find a story which is saying this, and it's half true. Of course, any new technology will tend to replace jobs which were done in an old way. That's what happened when motor cars came in and blacksmiths were no longer needed to shoe horses. This is what technological change is, and it happens all the time. There are also other reports, for instance, the World Economic Forum report, that says that AI is going to create jobs, because obviously there's a whole number of programming jobs and high-skilled jobs that are associated with it. And that report says there'll be a net increase in jobs. And again, this is not new. More jobs were created by the motor car being invented than were lost by shoeing horses, no longer being necessary. So that's another story. The real question is, under what conditions will these new jobs be created, and who will they benefit? Because every time a technological change takes place, employers tend to try and use that technological change to worsen conditions, lengthen hours, make work harder, and make greater profits out of the new technology. And ordinary working people can see the potential for it making their lives easier, their working days shorter, and so forth and so on. And that's where the battle line is really going to be drawn. Not more or less jobs, but which jobs benefiting who, under what conditions.
Yeah, that's very true. But, we absolutely should move with the times and, with, technology. And it is supposed to make life easier for the human race. But as you said, in the past, when there were, we were concerned, or people were concerned at the time about losing job and everything. When they were replaced by a lot of machinery and stuff, and especially when in cars and factories like that, there was more jobs generated, which is great. But again, you said, under what conditions? And I do think that if there's going to be loads of jobs that AI is taking over, and then there is hopefully jobs for people to do the back end or the other stuff that's to get the AI functioning or running better. What age are we looking at? What group are we looking at? And then will they, for example, if you've got like 50 plus or 40 plus, are they going to be training them? Or, because not everybody is into that kind of, tech world.
No, that's exactly the question. There should be training courses so that people can upgrade and move with the technology. I'm old enough to have come in when we used a typewriter and gone through the computerization age. And of course, it's perfectly possible to do that. But what workforces faced with that change need is retraining and adaptability and assistance from the employers and the government to do that effectively. That's what any sensible thing, any sensible society would do. What a sensible society shouldn't do is just chuck people on the scrap heap, employ some younger people, and not worry about the existing workforce. Yeah,
I just feel like it's a little bit tailored to a certain generation. But anyhow, I do remember, when the whole, when Microsoft came in and all of that, there was a lot of training in the sense that a lot of the adult education centres, careers advice centres, or a lot of that, and even now, I think there is places where you can get, computer literate and things like that, and even basic English and maths was offered free. I don't know, maybe these things will be doing, these centres would, if they're still around, will be doing it for AI training for a certain age group as well, to just really fully utilise, because we don't even know sometimes how to use it. So, I'm sure these things are around, but it's again, are they funded? These centres?
Well, this is the whole question about this technological revolution. Just down the road here in Tower Hamlets, they're going to build a data centre. Data centres use so much power that you can't build housing in the vicinity because the grid isn't powerful enough to deliver electricity both for a data centre and a housing. So this has got to be dealt with politically, and it's got to be dealt with in a way which doesn't damage the prospects of citizens at large in order to serve big tech.
Tower Hamlets is a very overpopulated kind of borough, and I don't know why they would pick something like Tower Hamlets. But anyhow, we are going to go to our last story of the day, which is why FIFA's Balogun red card suspension after Trump call is so controversial.
Yes, well, it appears that among his other skills, Donald Trump is a football referee and understands better the rules of the game than people who've been doing it all their lives, professional footballers and referees. No surprises there. Donald Trump probably thinks he's an opera singer in his spare time as well. But what it really underlines is what a corrupt operation the World Cup and FIFA are. We all know that the head is so close to Trump, he might as well be in Trump's cabinet. And for a politician, any politician, to directly interfere in a sporting event like this and alter the rules of the game is completely unacceptable, as practically everybody else in the game has been saying.
One would say that the FIFA, football and all of this should be separate from politics. But really, everything on the globe is politics. And it just, again, reminds you that if you are in a position of power, depending on where you are demographically, you can change things. And it is very controversial, and it is bizarre that while everyone's going crazy for, what's happening in football and everything, Donald Trump can just openly, boldly, make changes to that. And that's... I don't know, in some sense, it's a bit sad. It's a sad world we kind of live in.
Yeah, it's a desperate situation to watch something which is so patently and obviously grossly unfair, as I think Ian Wright said when he was commenting on it.
And that was, I think, Belgium team, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Although, of course, since this has happened, we have had the magnificent sight of the Belgian team defeating the United States and kicking that team out of the World Cup, and in celebration, the entire Belgian team mimicking Donald Trump's robotic dance at the time. So karma has descended on that situation.
Absolutely. Well, it's a lot of entertainment and for the world, and I think that's what they want. And anyhow, I mean, that does bring us to the end of the news segment. But thank you so much, John. It's been great catching up with you and getting all these updates of what is happening and being up to date, obviously, with the politics of the situations in the countries, the politics that's happening in the UK, and then obviously the politics within the football, world as well. Anyhow, thank you so much, John. We'll catch up with you again. And now we're going to go over to, we're going to go for a quick commercial break. And then we'll come back. But actually, we're going to give you something more inspiring than a break. We're going to give you Entrepreneurs Unlocked. So something for you to take notes on if you're interested in the world of business. This is a perfect time to see someone's story and perhaps learn something. So we'll see you soon after that.
My name is Dinira Ghaffar. I'm 32 years old. I'm a single mom to 2 beautiful children, and I come from Pakistan, and I moved to the UK in 2019 and started off my business in 2021. So I'm the founder of Superfast Care UK. It's essentially a domiciliary care provider. And we are based in Hammersmith and Fulham, and we have been functioning since 2021. That is correct, absolutely. But then again, it can be quite challenging if you are just a startup. It takes a lot to reach to that stage, a lot of mistakes, a lot of sacrifices, lessons learned, and then when you reach that point, you do turn into a money-making machine. So I come from a background of health and social care. My family back home ran a charity hospital, which is entirely free of charge for all the patients that come in. So I was raised around this principle of service, providing to people who are in need of service. And that is essentially what drove me to this business, to Superfast Care UK. Basically, our services are all based around, and our approach is person-centered care. If you are providing services to a service user and the care plan is not actually to what their requirements, individual requirements are, then there's no point of providing care service at all. So we aim at sitting down with the client. It takes 1 or 2 hours, but we do sacrifice that time, and that time is free of charge. We don't charge for that time. And we devise a care plan which is entirely supporting their individual needs. And this basically encourages them to be more independent and gives them that feeling of being in control and in charge of their own care. I am on call 24/7, even though I am the director of the company, but I don't put myself in the back door. I'm right at the front. I try to do as many assessments as I can myself. I know each of my clients' names, their details and everything, so I am very much connected with all of our service users. definitely. Whenever they're calling and talking to a supervisor, they don't want to be speaking to the supervisor. They're always asking for me. And we have had so many clients who were taken away from us due to some issues going on with the local authorities because their payments were being funded by the local authority and they had to take the package back. However, we had clients nagging the local authorities to come back to Superfast Care UK, and the turnaround rate has been extremely impressive. So the advantage that I had was that I've been coming to the UK since I was a child. I've spent all my summers here, so I was very familiar with the environment and had quite a few family and friends here who supported me initially. And our local mosque played a huge role as well, because that is where I formed a lot of friendships and alliances, and a place where I found a lot of my employees as well. So to be honest, I can't say that there was one particular case, because everyone I go to is facing something or the other which is extremely, out of the ordinary. It can't be a normal case if you are in need of care. And there have been times where I have gone to a service user's house and I have cried when I've stepped out of the house, because they are sitting there alone with no one to offer them even a glass of water. They're sitting in their own poo and pee, and there's no one there to even just wipe them out, wipe them off. And it really hurts me as a Muslim and a woman, because as a woman, it's in you to provide, as a mother, to provide care. And when I see them, it just honestly breaks my heart. But then that is where we come in, and we provide that care with compassion. And most of our staff is Muslim. And alhamdulillah, I'm very proud to say this, that they are not picky when it comes to timings. Let's say it's a 45-minute personal call. They will stay 1 hour, 15 minutes. Give that client time to wash themselves, or just not rush them altogether. They're not rushed to complete that call in 45 minutes, and they stay the extra 15 to 30 minutes free of charge. Most of the time when we're doing the payroll, that's when I find out, when I'm looking at the electronic call monitoring that we do have, the carers logging in and logging out, and I notice, oh, this person stayed half an hour more than the scheduled time, and they never made a fuss. So we pride ourselves in that as well. A lot of people, it's sad, but that's the sad reality. If it comes to a percentage, let's say if we are looking at the 60 plus demographic, I would say 80 to 85% of those are living alone. And you see a lot of people out on the streets as well, with walkers or other mobility aids, doing groceries for themselves, getting on and off of buses themselves, and they don't have adequate help, I would say. I've come across people who want their children to be involved, but the children don't want to be involved. And I've come across people who don't want their children to be involved at all. Totally in non-Muslim communities. I have not been to a Muslim household who does not have family support. And that is when me and my colleagues, we often say that, thank God, alhamdulillah, for the ni'mah of Islam, that we don't leave our vulnerable adults or children or elderly in a state where there's no one to even offer them a glass of water. So in terms of tiredness, I give myself 2 days off completely to focus on myself and my children. I also have my parents' help. Without them, I would not have been able to do anything that I'm doing right now, because obviously, you know, as a single mum, handling family and business is very difficult. So there's no balance. I would like to have that balance, but there is none at the minute. And my parents help a lot. Saturday and Sunday I am completely off, so my phone is switched off. In case of emergencies, I am contacted through the work phone, but yeah, that's how I manage the tiredness. When it comes to business, where I see Superfast Care in the next 2 to 5 years, we are developing a cutting-edge app at the minute, and that's essentially going to be the Uber of adult social care. So that would allow, it would really take out the agency's work. It would automatically match the service user with the carer in that geographical location, and it would give them peace of mind, and they would skip the waiting time as well. So that's one thing in the 2-year time period. And also we are looking to develop an assisted living accommodation for troubled adults. So it's more targeted towards young adults who have been to jail, or juveniles who've been to jail and they are released when they are 20, 21-year-old, and they come out into society with no real help. There's no one to give them that mentorship or to lead them or make them more independent. So that assisted living is not only going to provide accommodation, but also mental health support, mentorship, and along with life skill training to enable them to be more independent and confident. Empathy, care, respect and dignity. This is what Superfast Care is based around, and this is what care in itself, whether it's any other company, should be based around.
Wow, what an inspirational woman there with the Superfast Care that they have, or she has put in place from her own experience, and not just her experience, but you know, living life and then wanting to give back to make a change for someone else's life, which obviously as humans, as believers, is a great thing, a great quality to have, giving back and changing people's lives, alhamdulillah. So I hope you got a chance to take some notes if you are interested in business or specifically into care for others or being a service to others. But anyhow, alhamdulillah, so far has been great this morning. It is very warm and it's getting warmer in the next few days, but we're going to be going to a break. But just a reminder that when we come back, we are going to be going to Bosnia. We're going to be learning about what's happening over there, what's going on. Obviously, politically, a lot has changed, and culturally. So we'll get one of our Islam channel crew is out there reporting live for us. So we'll have a little nosy around what's happening there. And then later on, we're going to be having guests on board in the studio, and not just having guests and a panel to have a conversation with, but we're going to be opening up the line so that you, sitting at home or at work or on your travels or anywhere else, that you can call in quickly and have a quick conversation with our guests and, you know, answer those questions that are bothering you. You want to know a little bit more about obesity or health in general. This would be the perfect afternoon to find out. And so anyhow, we're going to go for a quick commercial break, but don't go anywhere. We'll see you very soon.
Nida Trust presents the National Muslim Teachers Awards 2026.
Good evening and a very warm welcome.
We will start this evening's awards ceremony with a recitation of the Quran.
Allah has created all other creation by just the word kun fayakun, which means be and it is. But there's one creation that Allah has left behind, and that is the human being. And that human being is shaped by Allah's hand.
Being a teacher is a very important responsibility. Teachers guide, support, and inspire others.
The National Muslim Teachers Awards 2026.
Classed as genocide several years ago, bringing little justice or solace to those seeking to bury loved ones. Their wounds still healing, Srebrenica must be remembered.
The UN framework for Bosnia and Herzegovina no longer seems to be relevant.
Charges are genocide, crimes against humanity, war crimes, and violations of the Geneva Conventions.
These crimes were a culmination of the accused's determination to cleanse eastern Bosnia, to ensure the Serb state that he envisioned.
I feel like the Bosnian community have been forgotten.
Do you see any similarities with what's going on in Palestine and what happened 30 years ago here in Srebrenica?
The Muslims are the problem for somebody. Why?
You can't even take it all in. You can't even see the names all the way to the end. It's unimaginable.
Classed as genocide several years ago, bringing little justice or solace to those seeking to bury loved ones. Their wounds still healing, Srebrenica must be remembered.
The UN framework for Bosnia and Herzegovina no longer seems to be relevant.
Charges are genocide, crimes against humanity, war crimes, and violations of the Geneva Conventions.
These crimes were a culmination of the accused's determination to cleanse eastern Bosnia, to ensure the Serb state that he envisioned.
I feel like the Bosnian community have been forgotten.
Do you see any similarities with what's going on in Palestine and what happened 30 years ago here in Srebrenica?
The Muslims are the problem for somebody. Why?
You can't even take it all in. You can't even see the names all the way to the end. It's unimaginable.
Nida Trust presents the National Muslim Teachers Awards 2026.
Good evening and a very warm welcome.
We will start this evening's awards ceremony with a recitation of the Quran.
Allah has created all other creation by just the word kun fayakun, which means be and it is. But there's one creation that Allah has left behind, and that is the human being. And that human being is shaped by Allah's hand.
Being a teacher is a very important responsibility. Teachers guide, support, and inspire others.
The National Muslim Teachers Awards 2026.
Five Pillars is not just any ordinary game show. It's a unique platform to deepen our understanding of Islam and strengthen our connection with our faith.
I'm keen to win.
50 points. Give that to me.
Oh my god, I don't know.
Pass. Pass as well.
The losing team out that way.
Classed as genocide several years ago, bringing little justice or solace to those seeking to bury loved ones, their wounds still healing. Srebrenica must be remembered.
Nida Trust presents the National Muslim Teachers Awards 2026.
Good evening and a very warm welcome.
We will start this evening's awards ceremony with a recitation of the Quran.
Allah has created all other creation by just the word kun fayakun, which means be and it is. But there's one creation that Allah has left behind, and that is the human being. And that human being is shaped by Allah's hand.
Being a teacher is a very important responsibility. Teachers guide, support, and inspire others.
The National Muslim Teachers Awards 2026.
Nida Trust presents the National Muslim Teachers Awards 2026.
Good evening and a very warm welcome.
We will start this evening's awards ceremony with a recitation of the Quran.
Allah has created all other creation by just the word kun fayakun, which means be and it is. But there's one creation that Allah has left behind, and that is the human being. And that human being is shaped by Allah's hand.
Being a teacher is a very important responsibility. Teachers guide, support, and inspire others.
The National Muslim Teachers Awards 2026.
Classed as genocide several years ago, bringing little justice or solace to those seeking to bury loved ones, their wounds still healing. Srebrenica must be remembered.
Nida Trust presents the National Muslim Teachers Awards 2026.
Good evening and a very warm welcome.
We will start this evening's awards ceremony with a recitation of the Quran.
Allah has created all other creation by just the word kun fayakun, which means be and it is. But there's one creation that Allah has left behind, and that is the human being. And that human being is shaped by Allah's hand.
Being a teacher is a very important responsibility. Teachers guide, support, and inspire others.
The National Muslim Teachers Awards 2026.
Classed as genocide several years ago, bringing little justice or solace to those seeking to bury loved ones, their wounds still healing. Srebrenica must be remembered. Classed as genocide several years ago, bringing little justice or solace to those seeking to bury loved ones, their wounds still healing. Srebrenica must be remembered.
Nida Trust presents the National Muslim Teachers Awards 2026.
Good evening and a very warm welcome.
We will start this evening's awards ceremony with a recitation of the Quran.
Allah has created all other creation by just the word kun fayakun, which means be and it is. But there's one creation that Allah has left behind, and that is the human being. And that human being is shaped by Allah's hand.
Being a teacher is a very important responsibility. Teachers guide, support, and inspire others.
The National Muslim Teachers Awards 2026.
Classed as genocide several years ago, bringing little justice or solace to those seeking to bury loved ones, their wounds still healing. Srebrenica must be remembered.
The UN framework for Bosnia and Herzegovina no longer seems to be relevant.
Charges are genocide, crimes against humanity, war crimes, and violations of the Geneva Conventions.
These crimes were a culmination of the accused's determination to cleanse eastern Bosnia, to ensure the Serb state that he envisioned.
I feel like the Bosnian community have been forgotten.
Do you see any similarities with what's going on in Palestine and what happened 30 years ago here in Srebrenica?
The Muslims are the problem for somebody. Why?
You can't even take it all in. You can't even see the names all the way to the end. It's
Need a Trust presents.
I am Shaz and I am with Taslima. Assalamu alaikum.
Salaam alaikum. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to join you. Now, earlier on before the break, we had the news, and now in our next segment, we have something extremely special for you. We have some of the staff from Islam Channel have gone to Bosnia. So we're going to be joined shortly live in Bosnia by our staff there. And I wonder what they're up to there.
Well, it is that time of the year, isn't it, where it's time to kind of reflect on what's happened. I mean, I know we live in a time where we are seeing similar things happening, unfortunately, unfolding, and they've been happening for a long time, and still currently, even today, are happening. But going back to Bosnia, it is a reminder that this shouldn't happen, and we shouldn't. We need to move past this and let people live. And they have this saying actually in Bosnia: "Live and let people live. Live and let live." And it's a nice saying because it is about humans just being allowed to just live a life without having to worry about being killed because of what faith you are, what culture you are, what color you are. And so we just, it's a reminder for us. But the crew are there on the ground, our Islam Channel crew. So let's hopefully catch up with them and see, what's going on and what they're doing exactly. So let's say Salaam alaikum.
Salaam alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you guys? Live and let live, Shaz. We're living right now, let me tell you. Look at the view behind me. This is amazing. I did not know what I've done to deserve sitting here, eating breakfast, live on TV to you guys. But this is the life, no? This is deep life. So I'm here with Eden again, my lovely tour guide, my lovely companion for the journey.
Assalamu alaikum. How are you guys?
Alhamdulillah, man.
Nice to be hosting you, Noor.
Good to be here, man. Tell me about this viewpoint.
So we are currently in viewpoint Zmajevac, called. You can see the whole of Sarajevo at the palm of your hand. So it's a beautiful, beautiful shots, beautiful sightseeing. Behind us, mountains like Trebević, Bjelašnica on the horizon. Down below, city of Sarajevo.
I love how you mentioned to me earlier, it's like a river of history. The way the architect is done is from the Yugoslavia times, from the Austro-Hungarian times. It's fantastic. Do you want to explain to me some of the old market and some of the bits that are lying around?
Yeah, of course. So right below us, there is a fortress called Yellow Fortress in Sarajevo. That's like the start of Sarajevo, so the medieval times of Bosnia. And the further down we go into the modern times of history. So if you go down, you'll get to the old market, which is representing Ottoman era in Bosnia. So Ottoman style buildings, masjids, many workshops and everything else. And if you move further down, you will get to Austro-Hungary Empire, where they have like amazing churches, chapels, as well as architecture, which makes the city beautiful. Further down, again, we get the Soviet-style buildings, like from Yugoslavia. And then again, further down, we get the modern-style buildings, which are full of glass and everything else.
Yesterday, we had some audio issues, but we were trying to explain to them the old market and the Sibyl. Do you want to talk to us about the old market and when it was developed? I know it's from the Ottoman Golden Ages, which is, I mean, it was fantastic.
So Ottoman Empire was founded in Ottoman Empire. Old Market was founded in the Ottoman Empire by Isa Beg Isaković. So this region was firstly like designed to be a marketplace. So people traveling from all over the world would stop here, trade, travel, trade their goods, stop by, move. We drank coffee in the Morchahan, where it was like a main part of the city, where around 70 horses and 300 passengers would be able to fit in those legends. As well, significant importance about Islam to this region, that Ottomans brought Islam to Bosnia.
Yep.
So we actually Bosnians accepted it because beforehand we were Bogumils, which is a religion between Catholic and Orthodox. So we believed there was one God, similar to Islam. So people believed there was one God. They didn't accept neither churches. So there's a funny story about that. King Tvrtko Kotromanić of Bosnia, he was invited by, he was actually visited by kings of both Catholic and Orthodox churches. They came to these regions and invited him to accept their religion, but he didn't accept it. He was just like, I'll accept it until they left. So when they left, they continued to perform their original Bogumils, which are like similar style to Christianity, but a different one. Yeah,
it's a lot of rich history.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
After that, Islam came, and so on.
Nice. All right. We've only got a few minutes left. Do you want to show people the lovely breakfast that you've got us today?
Yeah, of course. There's a trend going on about Balkan breakfast, but mainly this is what we eat. So we have eggs, we have sausages, we have chicken ham.
All halal, by the way, yeah.
Yeah, it's all halal. This is called sujuka. It's dried up meat rolled into a sausage, then cut into pieces. This is dried beef, which is very popular in Bosnia. Some fruit, some jam. Right here we have uštipci. It's called uštipci. It's Bosnian bread, fried in oil. It's amazing. Kajmak as well, cheese, and again, meats, which we eat.
That is amazing.
You should try some.
Oh, we're going to try some. I don't want to ruin it for the viewers and get them jealous, and the guys in the studio, so we're going to eat it after. I heard there's a heat wave going on. Let me tell you, it's a breezy 20 degrees here.
Fantastic.
How is it over there?
It's boiling.
It's very warm.
It's in the 30s, isn't it? Yes,
Yeah.
again.
Yes, we've got heat wave here, and the next few days it's going to get, I think tomorrow is going to be the hottest day.
Yes.
So
Another hottest day.
Another hot day. But it's great to see you guys there having a very nice time in lush Bosnia. It's absolutely beautiful scenery there. But it is that time of the year when a lot of people gather to remember. Noor, I don't know if you're feeling any of those vibes or anything. All right, well, I will have to come back to Noor on that. But it is that time of the year when they're going to do memorial and just going over the time of the genocide and stuff. But we will probably come have a special program on that. But it is now time for a quick commercial break. And then myself and Taslima will catch up with you after that.
Classed as genocide several years ago, bringing little justice or solace to those seeking to bury loved ones. Their wounds still healing, Srebrenica must be remembered.
Five Pillars is not just any ordinary game show. It's a unique platform to deepen our understanding of Islam and strengthen our connection with our faith.
I'm going to win.
50 points. Give that to me.
Oh my God, I don't know.
Pass.
Pass as we hold it.
The losing team out that way.
Nida Trust presents the National Muslim Teachers Awards 2026.
Good evening and a very warm welcome.
We will start this evening's awards ceremony with a recitation of the Quran.
Allah has created all other creation by just the word kun fayakun, which means be and it is. But there's one creation that Allah has left behind, and that is the human being. And that human being is shaped by Allah's hand.
Being a teacher is a very important responsibility. Teachers guide, support, and inspire others.
The National Muslim Teachers Awards 2026.
The UN framework for Bosnia and Herzegovina no longer seems to be relevant.
Charges are genocide, crimes against humanity, war crimes, and violations of the Geneva Conventions.
These crimes were a culmination of the accused's determination to cleanse eastern Bosnia, to ensure the Serb state that he envisioned.
I feel like the Bosnian community have been forgotten.
Do you see any similarities with what's going on in Palestine and what happened 30 years ago here in Srebrenica?
The Muslims are the problem for somebody. Why?
You can't even take it all in. You can't even see the names all the way to the end. It's unimaginable.
Welcome back to Salaam, Britain. And well, it's been a very interesting, very warm morning so far. And now that I have Taslima here, it's even more exciting because now I can have a quick chingwang. And,
yeah, we love doing that. We just pretend it's just the two of us and no viewers watching.
Yes,
you know.
and you know, just catch up on how everything's been going. Obviously, we've been talking about the news and stuff. Have you been following the football? Are you a football fan?
There's so much controversy happening in the house right now. I don't think just in the house. I feel like everywhere, especially like with the next match, it being all Argentinian referees. I'm like, is that even allowed? I thought there should be a rule that there should be, you know, not all from the same like nationality.
Yeah. And there's been a lot of prediction. I mean, I say this all the time. I'm not a football person. I don't really like football. I'm too busy watching my family watching football. But you can't help but you kind of get forced into it because everywhere you go, everyone's talking about it, and everyone's, you know. Did you get to see Ronaldo's exit?
Yes, I mean, I did. I know.
Yeah,
and Neymar's as well. It's like both of the two greats.
And also in the Algerian team, there's Mahrez. That was his last game as well. But they're all very emotional. And you know, I just felt, hold on a second, so who says men don't get emotional? Because we just saw a demonstration of live, you know, footage of them having a good old boohoo on the pitch. And that was the end of their, I suppose, their football career.
Well, for the World Cup anyway.
For the World Cup, because it's not really the end, is it?
But the thing is, people say that though, but then they say they're retired, but then you see them next time, they'll come back again.
They're still in the football world. You know, look at even Gary Lineker. He's, you know, doing commentary and stuff. Okay, you're not on the pitch, you're not actually running, but you're still in that world.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of drama there, you know, but...
honestly, I feel like this has been like the most exciting World Cup ever.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
But I am also just hoping that the weather cools down quite soon.
Yeah.
I'm not really a heated kind of. I'm naturally hot all the time. You know, and so I don't feel I can handle much of this heat going forward. But hopefully, inshallah. Anyway, it is that time where we learn a little bit on cooking.
Yes.
Are you a cook? A good cook?
You say that to me all the time when she already knows the answer to that question.
Okay,
she just wants an invite at my house. That's what she wants.
Well, anyhow, it is time to take your pen and paper out if you want to, or take some notes, or just press the record button and try something new. And let's find out what's being cooked today.
Hello, my name is Halima Ferreira, and I'm going to show you how to make nasi kebuli, Indonesian fried chicken rice, my style. To start our recipe off, we're going to have to cook our rice. In this pan, I've got the water from the chicken. You then put some crushed lemongrass, a few shallots, some cumin, coriander, bay leaf, and a little bit of allspice. And then you just let the chicken cook in that water. You drain it and you save it for the rice. That's exactly what I've done. So over here, I'm going to just add in a little bit more water. I'm going to add some kibbled onion. I'm going to add another fresh bay leaf in there. And last but not least, our rice. And then we're just adding it into our stock. We're going to stir that through a little bit. Mix it all together. We're going to cover it and let it cook on a low heat, about 15 minutes. And then we'll get back to that. The next step is we want to fry our chicken, so we need to get a nice big pan on. We need to put some oil in there and bring it up to 180 to about 190 degrees. So we're going to let that get up to temperature for a second. Now that we've checked our oil's hot, we're going to start placing the chicken in. But be careful with it because it can spit at you. The chicken still does have water on it on the skin, so it might spit. So do be careful when placing this in. Gently. So what I like to do is cook the chicken for about 2 to 3 minutes on each side, just so it's nice and golden. We want it to be nice and crispy and a great golden color. Our chicken's ready to come out. I like to use this spider because it just helps drain that excess oil a little bit, and then put it onto some draining towel. Pan is very hot, so do be careful when frying at home. And now we're going to check on our rice. That's perfectly cooked. Steam out. I like to use a fork and go around the edges to break it apart. And now we're going to start assembling our dish. We're going to go around the edges of the rice. We're going to place it into our dish. I'm going to sprinkle some toasted pine nuts on the top. Now I'm going to place some chicken on top. And now I'm going to garnish our dish. I like to get a bit of toasted ground cumin, sprinkle it on the chicken. Some freshly chopped coriander. And to finish garnishing off, some freshly sliced cucumber. Some spring onion. And lastly, some nice little red and yellow peppers. And our nasi kebuli is ready. How I like to serve this is with it's a red chili sambal. I cook that with some red chilies, some basil, some Thai lime leaf, and it's got shallots in there, and you cook it down really, really well. It's best to be made the night before, the flavors really infuse, and also a nice fresh salad. Bon appetit.
Assalamu alaikum, I'm Chef Sarah, and I'm here today to teach you guys how to make a special chana chaat. It's not what you would traditionally find in normal recipe books or on the internet or even in shops, so it's my own version. For the cooking part, we need oil, We need mustard seeds and cumin seeds. We need onions sliced. We need tomato passata. You can use tomato passata, you can use tomato tin grinded. Then we need salt. We need chaat masala. Chaat masala is a very important ingredient. That's what gives that chaat taste. Then we have chili powder and we have cumin powder. And then we have the actual elements of it, which is the chickpeas and the potatoes chopped into small pieces. And then for the garnishing part, we need yogurt and we have the tamarind sauce. We need red onions, we need coriander, and we need pomegranate seeds. So I'm going to start by first putting some oil in the wok. Just need a couple of tablespoons. Then in go the cumin seeds and the mustard seeds. So when you hear the mustard seeds starting to sizzle and pop, in go the onions. So today we're not actually going to be browning the onions, we're just softening them. Once they're softened, we put in the tomato straight away. So now that the onions have softened, we're gonna put the tomato in. Once the tomato goes in, we now add the salt and all the spices. So I added in the salt and the chaat masala. Now goes in the chili powder and the cumin powder. Now that we've put the spices in, we just need to leave it on slow for about 3-4 minutes and let it simmer so all the spices get cooked nicely with the tomato. Now for the potatoes, what we do, this is a special technique, you use half the potatoes and you actually squash them with the back of the spoon into the sauce. What this does is it actually thickens the sauce a little bit and gives it a different texture. And then you add the rest of the potatoes and leave them whole. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to add half of the potatoes and just squash them a little bit, just a little bit. You can actually smell the aroma of all the different spices combining and cooking with the tomato sauce. It smells really delicious. Once we've slightly squashed the potatoes, now we put in the rest of the potatoes and we also put in the chickpeas. Give it a good mix. So once it's sizzling and boiling, you just put the lid on and let it simmer for 2-3 minutes and then you switch it off. It's all done and ready for the next step. So now it's time to serve and garnish. So you can make individual bowls, which look really nice for individual portions, or you can make a big bowl or a big plate to serve in a larger gathering. For extra flavor, what I do is I add the chaat masala into the yogurt that we're going to use as a topping. And we still save a little bit more chaat masala for actually sprinkling on top as well. So now this gets spooned straight on top of our base. Now it's time to garnish. So first we're going to use these. These are called sev and you can find them in most Asian supermarkets and you just sprinkle them on. So next we're going to use the onions, the coriander and the pomegranate. Okay, so for the final step now, we've got a tamarind sauce here and we've got the chaat masala again, which we're just going to sprinkle on top. So first we drizzle on the tamarind sauce. And finally, just a sprinkle of the chaat masala. And there you go. Perfect dish, perfect for a snack or even as a starter, a family favorite. So easy, so delicious to make.
Assalamu alaikum, my name is Zarka and today I'm sharing a very special snack recipe of Punjabi samosas. Yes, they are stuffed with potatoes and peas and they're traditionally eaten a lot in South Asian families. But nevertheless, they're very popular around the world with different stuffings. So let's begin the recipe. So first thing we need to do is make the pastry because it needs to rest. So I have plain flour here, about 1 cup, and then pinch of salt in this, just a little pinch, and some carom seeds, otherwise known as ajwain as well. So you get a little bit and you rub them with your hands and you add them into the flour, perhaps a little bit more, and then you need some oil, say about 2 tablespoons full here, and then I'm going to rub it together to form into breadcrumbs. Now that they resemble the breadcrumbs, I am going to add a little bit of water, a bit at a time. It doesn't need awful lot of water because the consistency shouldn't be too soft. Then you just mix it up and make it into a nice ball like this, and then you need to let it rest for at least 20 minutes to half an hour. And this is the dough. That's what it looks like after 20 minutes of leaving it on a room temperature. You don't need to actually put it in the fridge, and then just remove it from the bowl, put it on worktop like this, and then just knead it further for a minute or so. So dough is ready to be now made into samosas. We will be dividing now the dough into equal pieces, and we're making the tiny samosas here. So you can see a little bit of dough here goes a long way. So now we will just roll it and make it into tiny balls. So then you get a bit of plain flour and you're going to roll this out. So do this with your fingers, make it flat, and then get a rolling pin and roll it out, making sure
And welcome back to Salaam, Britain. And now it is that time for Health Talk, our fortnightly health segment where we explore important health topics with the help of experienced healthcare professions with the aim of educating and informing our viewers.
Each edition will be discussing a different health issue, raising awareness, tackling common misconceptions, and sharing evidence-based information to help you better understand your health and well-being. Later in the programme, we'll also be opening the phone lines, giving you the opportunity to ask our experts general questions about today's topic.
Yes, and so leading today's discussion is Nathan Nagel, a weight management consultant, healthcare educator, and the founder of Global Muslim Weight Management Group. Nathan is passionate about improving health education and promoting culturally sensitive approaches to weight management and metabolic health.
And today's discussion focuses on fertility and weight management, exploring the connection between maintaining a healthy weight and reproductive health, while looking at some of the common questions and misconceptions surrounding this topic. Nathan, welcome. So to begin with, can you tell us what is the relationship between weight management and fertility?
Salaam alaikum, sisters. Well, first of all, in terms of Allah's greatest gift to us as children, it's without words the greatest gift. And then part of it is, Salah says that we feel no worse vessel than our own. So in terms of weight management, so the main concept of weight management and fertility is this here, grabbing this and other places, it's very active. So our fat on our bodies is an active substance. Most people think of it as just there and not doing anything. But it's an active tissue inside our body that emits hormones, sends signals to our brain, completely changes. It's a whole mechanism around sending to our body, you are right to get pregnant or not. Allah has designed it in this amazing system. If we are not as we are supposed to be intended in terms of our shape and our system, difficulties occur. The whole system of the Quran, the Hadith, and the Sunnah has been designed for our benefit. And then, but the main concept is our fat is active, and it affects us.
Fat is active. I need to remember that.
Yeah.
But okay, look. So obviously, the body is. If you are someone who is, looking to have children, so you obviously want to make sure that the ship is sailing or is going to be sailing fine and everything is in order, naturally, right? But is it fair? I mean, I'm maybe going to get horrible emails, but hopefully not. If somebody's overweight and they're struggling with weight loss and they want to have children. So, yes. or they do happen to get pregnant. Well, and then what?
Two questions in one there. So I'll answer the first one for you? Okay, then. In terms of struggling for fertility, as Muslims, we are known as tripartite. So we've got our body, our brain, and our soul. Al-Jasid, our body, Al-Aq, our mind, and Aru, our soul. And if we're just looking at the body, right, and we keep focusing on the body, and we forget our mind and our soul, a lot of stress occurs.
Yeah.
And a lot of guilt occurs. And all these things, so as Muslims, we have to concentrate on our mind, body, and soul for balance. So it's really not just looking at the calorie reduction and exercise, it's looking at our pure heart, al-qalb, if I pronounce that correctly.
Yeah.
Qalb. See, I didn't grow up with it, so I'm still learning.
It's okay, even we get it wrong sometimes.
And then our brain as well. So it's looking at all the elements to really get closer to Allah, and this system is designed to help us with the weight management, to lower our body weight, but not just concentrate on calories. As Muslims, there's three parts to us. So it's really looking at our brain, our soul, and our body, and that genuinely helps to lower body weight, which helps with fertility.
I just want to ask, obviously you mentioned about from the Islamic point and the Sunnah point, but can you just tell us from the scientific play and give us the evidence for that?
Sure. So stress stress actually goes to the fat of our body. So our fat, because it's active, stress is known as cortisol. Cortisol is attracted to the fat in our body, and then that fat self-perpetuates and goes round and then sends signals. So we'll start out with females, but it's equally for men as well. So it goes to females and it creates more fat tissue. That then creates androgens, and then androgens in terms of male hormones, that creates what's known as polycystic ovarian syndrome. Then that creates insulin resistance, and the cycle keeps going round. Stress is really, really an important part of this because it self-perpetuates the cycle around that. This is why we do Salah, this is why we do Dikka, this is why we do Juma. Genuinely, the stress helps break the cycle of all this. Yes, lowering calories and eating tayyib food is, in terms of whole food, is very important. But our heart and our brain is just as important. And the evidence shows that lowering stress, and being in the community and the exercise and looking what we eat does help. the Quran keeps coming back to be proved time and time again in terms of modern medicine.
I mean, that's all great, you know, what you're saying, but this whole stress conversation is a huge topic in itself, and what it's doing to our bodies and how it's impacting us and so forward. But before we were talking about that, just before that, you were talking about how we should use our bodies to facilitate and utilize it to the best of our abilities to be of service to us, and spiritually, mentally. When someone's trying or looking to have a child, and you know, maybe in their 20s or you know, when they're younger. I mean, I'm thinking about myself in my 20s. You're not thinking about your body being the best of its ability. You're just thinking, I want a child, and then you end up having a child. So now we know this because there's people like yourself, and now we're having these kind of conversations. And so now, obviously, it's just a great thing. You know, people watching, and you know, will learn and think about it maybe in the future. But back before, we didn't think about these things, and we would just. And then what would happen? What would be the impact of that then? Because you're younger, you're physically able, and you're more healthier naturally. Maybe not eating the best way, but because you are young, you're still able to, you know, have a child, carry a child, deliver a child safely and happily. And so people will be thinking, well, maybe if I'm young, I don't need to worry about healthy management or things like that.
It is. There's a higher chance of getting pregnant when you're younger. You're more fertile, the eggs are more regular, there's less fat on the body. It gets problems as we age more. Yeah, so fertility gets harder for women, but equally harder for men. I am definitely not just focusing on the women here, because for men, for weight gain, as well. Did you know that the weight gain, because fat is an active substance, actually damages the DNA of the sperm? Yeah.
There's a lot of studies on men and fertility, but that's not very well or much spoken about, especially when they're not in great health and the quality. But
it's really important that it's equal, because it's totally not just on the one what's going on inside the man's body, and then we can plan accordingly, rather than just get frustrated. The frustration leads to stress. That goes round and round and round. So actually, my answer would be, the moment you decide, go speak to your doctor.
I mean, there must be a health clinic or somewhere else. I mean, what GP's got time to sit there and say, oh, by the way, we're thinking of having a baby. Or we're thinking of having a family.
It's important because it's to understand, say, like, what's going on in your body, what's going on in this man's body, because a year of frustration and a year of money can lead to consequences. So it's like, let's just discuss it, see what's going on, and have that discussion to say, what can we do to kind of like, what's your weight, what's your hormones like, what's the situation. So it really is planning as a team with your healthcare professional, really planning.
I mean, I can only imagine it would just raise your cortisol levels just trying to book an appointment.
No, but I feel like what Nathan has said, though, is something like very key and important, because actually people don't go to see the GP unless there is a problem, and they might have been trying for a year, 2 years, 3 years.
But we don't live in that time to see.
But actually, but what Nathan is saying is actually a very good point.
Yeah, it is a good point.
If you
can
decided to go to have a baby, actually, as he said, the body is so important, and being in a healthy mind, because we might think we're healthy, but we don't know what underlying issues that we may or may not have.
Yes.
So actually, I feel like that is quite a good piece of advice.
Yeah,
there,
absolutely.
Actually go and seek advice.
What I'm saying,
to plan before.
There must be other health professionals, is what I'm saying. I'm saying it must not just be GPs.
The first port of the call is the GP, and then the GP can also. The GP is very, very good at doing the baseline analysis. So we will do a set of blood tests known as biomarkers. Look at BMI, look at height to weight ratio, look at ethnicity. Ethnicity matters in pregnancy. The reason why is South Asians start to get metabolic disorders much earlier than everyone else. So ethnicity matters in pregnancy. So a South Asian lady at 23 BMI and a Caucasian lady of 30 have got the same risk factors in terms of problems. So even more, South Asian Arab, go to speak to the GP, looking at the weight to height ratio, looking at the age. The GP will do all these assessments If they need to refer to an endocrinologist, a hormone specialist, then they will refer. But to get that baseline plan is going to be so important. You don't want to have the year of frustration and stress. It compounds it. It's another year down the line of saying, oh, what can I do? Plan. Let's get the baseline. What's going on? Age, ethnicity, hormones. What's going on for the male as well? Really, really equal. Not just woman. Going to repeat that. Not just woman. Takes two. Allah designed that way. Yeah. So do speak to your GP straight away and say, this is what we want to do. We'd like to get a plan.
Right, okay. Well, we are streaming live at the moment, and so we have opened up our lines. Should anyone want to call in and speak to Nathan directly, you can do. But in the meanwhile, Nathan, could you share with us some of the most misconceptions you've come across about fertility so far?
I would say that, first of all, please do call in, write comments on YouTube. We're live. We want to support you. We are here. We're engaged with you. Please call in and write in. Some of the misconceptions, I would say, I'm going to put that back onto you in terms of what do sisters chat about in terms of the conceptions, because what us men think, right, is going to be different. Yeah, so I could tell you from a male perspective, but I think you need to tell me from the female perspective of what sisters talk about in terms of misconceptions.
No, I think the whole idea that it's usually the woman's problem. I think that's
woman's
one of the biggest,
fault.
That it's that she's not healthy enough, or if anything, health issues with the child, it's always down to the woman and not, it's never a part of the men. And also, I think that's just a cultural thing. But
it's 50-50.
Yeah, and also
we're designed that way to be.
Yeah, and also I think about the age limit. That you have to you have to have with your children young, and that when you get to a certain age, you don't. But I think that's also something that's culturally kind of programmed. But yes, naturally, your body's declining in general, overall health, right? But again, it's not just the women. A man,
it really is equal. As a man gets older, there's more problems with his sperm.
If he's got health problems,
there's more DNA damage. Men do not come as this perfect package from 18 to 60. Yeah, well, that's just not how it works.
Yeah. I do have a question about that on when you're talking about obviously age-related and with fertility. Obviously, because quite often it's there's this term called geriatric pregnancy when you're over a certain age. But surely, if someone is like 40 and then 41. But does that not depend on the person? And obviously, does that not depend on the health of that individual? Because you can't just categorize every single person in that particular bubble. Oh, if they're at over 40, geriatric pregnancy instantly. But they could have like the same health as an 18-year-old. So how is it that important, about age-related in relation to fertility?
Age is one factor, but not the determinant factor. As you say, it's all the different elements together. I'm not quite sure I'd stretch it so far as a fit 40-year-old will be.
I was thinking that was a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, we're not quite stretching that far, yeah. But age, ethnicity, body size, yeah, what we eat, yeah, our stress levels, and that's for the male and female, right? Age is a factor. As we get older, our reproductive DNA carries more risk. It's literally just linear. Scientifically, it goes up. The older we get, the more risk there is. But to your point, a fit 40-year-old that's eating well, in terms of like the ethnicity and body size, because we know that it makes a difference, they're eating everything correctly. Yes, if all the elements are there, it's a little like the old game, Connect 4. But imagine it's like Connect 10. If everything is in a line, you're a winner. But if something is off, it doesn't happen. It's very multifactorial for male and female. So you're right, it's not just age.
Yeah, you know, I have these often conversations with my daughters, and you know, being a mum myself and looking back at my own life, and I sometimes think, you know, sometimes we don't really think about, you know, when you want to have a child, you're thinking, I just want a child, yeah, I want to have a child and all of that, but we don't think about the child. I mean, it doesn't exist yet, but it's like we're not thinking, you know, again, is my body in the right frame? Is it in the right state? And am I able to give the best? Because again, you just think, well, can I? The only thing you're thinking about is, I can get pregnant. Can I get pregnant? And it's either yes or no, and that's all you're thinking about. You know, and but the whole weight thing, and your health, and being able to give the right nutrients while you're pregnant, these are huge factors. And I think culturally we've kind of lost that as well, like the good stuff in I mean, there's good and bad in, you know, all cultures, but you know, in terms of like, sometimes in culturally, people would always encourage all the older mums and aunties and the nannies, like, eat this is good for the baby, eat that, and we've kind of lost that as well. You know, we don't have that kind of, that tribe kind of set up anymore, where people are looking out for you. And then obviously when, you know, these are other big conversations, but for example, when the baby is delivered again, the right nutrients and the right way to care for a woman, you know, to get her back healthy and ready. And also she's still, you know, breastfeeding the child. So again, the baby's still getting the nutrients, bulk of it from the mum. So we've kind of lost all of that.
I can guarantee no American food is going to be good for you. Yeah, all the ultra-processed stuff in terms of the fast food culture.
Yeah.
There's just none of that, which is.
What if you got cravings?
Well, actually,
in your pregnancy?
okay.
There's just none
fried
of the
chicken.
None of the ultra-processed food. There's literally none of it is good for us.
Okay, let's go to what is good for us then. So obviously, if someone is out there and they're trying to get pregnant, obviously, you like, as Shaz was saying, she was talking about food, and like, you know, people are in the culture are like, oh, eat this for you, this is good for you, obviously. But actually, before you obviously are pregnant and you are trying to conceive, are there kind of any like superfoods, I would say, out there that actually help to get someone, you know, looking to get pregnant? Are there any such special remedies or superfoods out there?
I would argue no. Unfortunately not. It's really designed as a balance. A lot of fruit and vegetables, proteins, whether that be from plant sources or animal sources, subject to your belief and culture, healthy fats, avocados, things like that. But it really is, in terms of nutrition, the balance. Much like your question about age or food, there's not one thing. Right? It's not, you must be this, or you must be that, or this is great. It's really, think of it as the Connect 10. Yeah? Am I eating whole foods, fruits, vegetables? Yeah, home cooking the best. Yeah? Out of a packet isn't. The plastic and the chemicals from packeted food completely disrupts our hormones. Yeah? The food has been literally packeted.
But it is difficult, Nathan, because, you know, we live in a time, okay, even if you have a home-cooked meal, the way you put the leftover food in a plastic box, you know, the foil you're using, these are all things that, you know, affect your hormones. The deodorant you're using, you know, everything is... The candles, I mean, I can't even put the candles on anymore.
At the time of pregnancy, though...
But these affect your hormones.
I get it. At the time of, like, when you're looking to get pregnant...
To avoid...
This is the time when to... Just to be a little bit more mindful of it, because then if the objective is to say, I want to get pregnant, I completely agree. It's incredibly difficult. Life is hard and fast. But if you're saying, I want to get pregnant, maybe just make that concerted effort to go, I'll drop the plastic food. Containers, you can put things in food-grade containers. Yeah. But I'm talking from like the packets, the microwave meals, things like that. Looking at the time of trying to get pregnant, because if we're talking about achieving the objective of saying, I want all the different connections to give the best possible chance, just around that time to make an extra effort on it all, because it really is all the factors together. But please, dial in, call in. We are here to support you.
We have somebody actually that sent in a text. Would you like to read the text out?
Yes, thank you to our viewer who sent in the text. So does losing just a small amount of weight improve the fertility, or do you need to lose a significant amount of weight to make an adjustment and to make a change?
It's a good question, and every bit helps. Imagine it on a sliding scale. So the more the weight you lose to go down to your optimal health, the greater chance you've got. So even if it's like, even a little bit, you're going on the right direction. So it's not a cut-off point to say, I'm here and nothing's going to happen till I get to this point here.
Yeah, so you don't have to reach your goal weight if they obviously have a goal weight in mind.
It's about increasing probability. Every little bit increases the chance.
That's
bit
great.
by bit. And it's all about sustainability. It's not such a, oh, if I'm not going to reach this, I'm not going to do it. No. Every single bit helps. But to have the positive mindset, the evidence shows around having a positiveness, because that reduces the stress, helps. Our mind, the evidence shows that our mind and our body counts in terms of getting pregnant.
Gosh, stress is so huge, isn't it? It's such a huge factor
it
in
really
fertility.
is. And
well, in general, I mean, we're all suffering from stress, but I suppose you have to be more mindful in terms of when you're trying to conceive for a child. But we have got another question actually that somebody has sent in, and it is: can being a healthy weight guarantee that you'll have no fertility problems?
No, there's no guarantee because there's many different factors in terms of the being able to get pregnant. So imagine it as like the Connect 10. If you're a healthy weight, that's one thing checked off. Then it's all the other factors that have to be in a line to then say, okay, I'm going to get pregnant. So that's incredible, really great that one factor is ticked off, healthy weight, but there's no guarantee just for one factor. All the other things have to align for the magic to happen.
Right, wow. Okay, but so people that are watching today, if there's anything you would like them to take away, there was like a specific, message from this discussion today that you would like viewers to take away, what would that be?
I'd say if it's equally responsible for males and females, absolutely equally responsible, and the moment as a couple you decide to say we want to have a child, we want to have an amazing family, bringing another Muslim into the world hopefully, and then to really say, let's go speak to our doctor and plan to understand what's going on our body. Rather than just go and frustrate, let's plan what's going on. What's the ethnicity, what's their age, kind of what's our hormones doing, what do we need to address. Let's make a plan and then go at it, because then it's not just one factor. Age, ethnicity, weight, hormones, stress, all these different things. How can we make sure that they're aligned to get the best chance of the magic to happen? So there's many factors, including body weight.
So we should have a checklist. If somebody is looking to have children, there are a list of things that they should consider for themselves and their partner.
Plan as a couple.
Absolutely, that's great advice. We have another question, a text in from one of our viewers. The question is, I've heard that conditions like PCOS can make it harder to lose weight. How does that affect fertility? Nathan.
Good question. So PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, is where the body is producing a lot of leptin, and in terms of wanting to feel hunger, and the insulin in the body is not working as it should. And also the fat cells are producing androgens, and the androgens in terms of male hormones make it very difficult for the woman to get pregnant. Polycystic ovarian syndrome is reversible.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. It's possible to reverse these kind of conditions.
Yeah.
I think sometimes when people are told this, that you have polycystic ovaries, they kind of just accept it. It's
reversible.
You're not told that, you know what, if you lose a little bit of weight or you get active, you can reverse this.
Yes.
It's
I didn't get
reversible.
told this. Yeah. I didn't get told this. Let me just be more specific. Yeah, but anyway, I didn't get told this, but you can reverse it.
But to also create a plan, say, okay, I've got polycystic ovarian syndrome now. Where do I want to be? What are the steps that I need to take in order to get there? And then look at the plan to say, okay, where do I need to get there? What's my age, my ethnicity, my work environment, my home environment? What's sustainable small techs?
Yeah.
Yeah? Because, help me with the pronunciation, sabr. So,
Sabr.
Sabr. Yeah? In terms of patience and sustainability, all the little steps, yeah, help. But we need to, like any good plan, where are we now? Where do we want to be? What do we need to do to get there? And work with family, work with partners, work with friends, work with the GP. It's very much, yeah, they say a community to raise a child. I would argue it's a community to get pregnant.
Oh, gosh.
All right, okay. On that note, a final quick last question. This is from me. So obviously we talked throughout the entire program about how the importance of weight management in relation to fertility. Now, what if someone doesn't eat good and, you know, they eat the junk food and the American foods, like you said, and they can still get pregnant and they
Yes.
manage to get pregnant.
Yes.
Does that have an effect on the pregnancy and the child then?
So yes, you can get pregnant if you eat bad. It's not an impossibility. But then once the child is growing from day one, the brain needs, so the brain of the child is built from healthy fats. So there's lots of different types of fats. Our brain is predominantly fat. Yeah, all the different elements. And then the healthy fats, nuts, avocados, olive oils. If that is not in your food group, it is affecting the growth of the production of the child. Yeah? Because then the child's body needs the nutrients to grow healthily. So the child will still grow, but on what degree of healthiness will the child grow?
Yeah.
Yeah, so evidence shows that what you put in,
Yeah.
there's the building blocks for the child. What you eat is what the child is made of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Nathan. That was a brilliant program for today on Salaam Britain. Join us again next time. Salaam alaikum.
Pick of the Week has returned. Come and join us each week as we showcase the best highlights from our daily programming at 5:30 p.m. every Sunday on Islam Channel.
Five Pillars is not just any ordinary game show. It's a unique platform to deepen our understanding of Islam and strengthen our connection with our faith.
I'm keen to win.
50 points. Give that to me.
Oh my god, I don't know.
Pass. Pass as well.
The losing team out that way.
Islam Channel, your gateway to the world of Islam. Inspiring, informing, entertaining. On TV, online, on our brand new state-of-the-art apps. With original content for a Muslim audience and inspirational Islamic programs from all around the Muslim world. Watch live, watch offline, create your playlist, watch across all devices. Download now from wherever you usually get your apps. Islam Channel. Watch anytime, anywhere.
The UN framework for Bosnia and Herzegovina no longer seems to be relevant.
Charges are genocide, crimes against humanity, war crimes, and violations of the Geneva Conventions.
These crimes were a culmination of the accused's determination to cleanse eastern Bosnia, to ensure the Serb state that he envisioned.
I feel like the Bosnian community have been forgotten.
Do you see any similarities with what's going on in Palestine and what happened 30 years ago here in Srebrenica?
The Muslims are the problem for somebody. Why?
You can't even take it all in. You can't even see the names all the way to the end. It's unimaginable.
Five Pillars is not just any ordinary game show. It's a unique platform to deepen our understanding of Islam and strengthen our connection with our faith.
I'm keen to win.
50 points. Give that to me.
Oh my god, I don't know.
Pass. Pass as well.
The losing team out that way.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome all our dear viewers, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And welcome back on Islamica. Please, inshallah ta'ala, if there is any question that you have and you would like to ask us, please try to call the number that will be showing on the screen, inshallah ta'ala, and you will be answered bi'idhnillah ta'ala. Your question will be answered bi'idhnillah ta'ala. And we are very honored to have tonight with us live on the show and Fadilatul Sheikh Jasim Al-Aynati from Al-Kuwait. The Sheikh is a well-known scholar and he's a very knowledgeable scholar in Kuwait, and he's here tonight, alhamdulillah, to give us a reminder and to answer our questions, inshallah ta'ala. And I would like to welcome the Sheikh. Sheikh Jasim, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sheikh, on behalf of Islam Channel and all our viewers here in the UK, we are honored to have you again on the show tonight. Jazakallahu khairan for joining us again, Sheikh Jasim.
بارك الله فيكم ونحن سعداء ومسرورون بأن نرى الأخوة في إنجلترا في المملكة المتحدة على قناة Islamic Channel.
نعم. And Sheikh, now, and as you know, we are coming to the end of the academic year in schools and colleges. And so parents are more concerned about, is there any advice or plan that they would like to take in place during the holiday, inshallah ta'ala, the school holiday or the college holiday? We would like you to give us, inshallah, some few words of nasiha regarding this, Sheikh.
الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على أفضل خلق الله محمد بن عبد الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن اهتدى بهديه واستنى بسنته إلى يوم الدين. في حقيقة العطلة الصيفية الإنسان والمسلم عليه أن يستفيد من هذا الوقت. حقيقة هي إجازة من الدراسة، قد تكون إجازة من العمل، ولكن مع ذلك هي ليست إجازة عن المعرفة، وليست إجازة عن العلم، وليست إجازة عن الفهم والبحث، وكذلك العلاقات الاجتماعية مستمرة حتى في الإجازة الصيفية. فهذه